I love Arizona, and I am so proud of what we've delivered. Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year. I've registered as an Arizona independent. I know some people might be a little bit surprised by this, but actually, I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, a growing number of Arizonans and people like me just don't feel like we fit neatly into one party's box or the other. And so, like many across the state and the nation, I've decided to leave.
Senator, hello, how are you? Good? Sorry, I'm Karina. I don't know if you remember me. I just need to know if you can commit to passing a budget reconciliation that would include immigration and citizenship for people to be protected, like me and many others.
The clerk will report the nomination.
Nomination, the judiciary, Sarala Nagala of Connecticut, the United States District Judge for the District of Connecticut.
Madam President.
Majority Leader.
Yep, that was Senator Kyrsten Sinema, who decided to wear, yes, I'm gonna say it, a ridiculous denim vest while presiding in the United States Senate. Now, keep in mind, this is while the ongoing negotiations regarding incredibly important human infrastructure is raging on. She has been an obstacle to the most popular provisions in that budget reconciliation bill. And while I usually do not care and I do not judge people based on what they're wearing, I do with Kyrsten Sinema. Because for me, it's the whole package. It's not just the optics of it, it's the substance of it. And I wanna make that case. Everything to her seems to be some sort of joke. And I feel like wearing that denim vest is just an extension of how much she doesn't care about us and is just like so incredibly disrespectful to her own constituents. That's what it symbolizes to me.
I love Arizona, and I am so proud of what we've delivered. Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year.
Allow me to put my Cenk Uygur hat on to say, down goes Sinema, down goes Sinema. Let's go to Cenk for more.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Down goes Sinema, down goes Sinema. All right, guys, by the way, now Manchin and Sinema are both gone.
Bye.
Because they preferred civility? No, they preferred corporate cash.
See you later.
And the reason why this is such a huge story today is because for the first time in American politics, pleasuring corporate donors has not worked.
We won't miss you.
Yeah, they're both goners. They both served their donors 100%. Kyrsten Sinema killed lower drug prices and higher taxes on corporations and the wealthy. She was the most corporate politician of my lifetime, pretending to be a progressive in the beginning, then did a switcheroo, the original Fetterman, and then represented corporate donors better than anyone in the Senate. And guess what? It turns out voters aren't buying that crap anymore.
How does leaving the party change how you do your job?
Well, I don't think anything will change about how I do my job. Arizonans sent me to the United States Senate to be an independent voice for our state, and I'll continue doing that. What I think is important about this decision and this move is that I'll be able to show up to work every day as an independent and not be, stuck into one party's demands of following without thinking.
Let's talk about practically what this means, because you're the chair of at least 2 subcommittees. You're a member of a number of important committees, including Veterans Affairs. Does this mean that you're no longer going to be in those positions because you're no longer a Democrat and the Democrats control the Senate?
Well, I intend to maintain my position on my committees and keep doing the work that I've been doing for Arizona. So I don't think that things will change in terms of how I operate or the work that I do in the United States Senate.
The balance of power right now is 51 Democrats or 51 votes for the Democratic Party. That includes 2 independents, Angus King of Maine and Bernie Sanders of Vermont. But that's 51-49. What you're doing today doesn't change that. It's still basically going to be 51-49.
Well, I know you have to ask that question, Jake.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a DC thing to worry about. What I'm really focused on is just making sure that I'm doing what I think comports with my values and the values of Arizonans.
So Kyrsten Sinema, who was of course elected as a Democrat and has since then stymied Biden's agenda as much as humanly possible, announcing there that she is becoming an independent. Now, we can't forget that it's likely that she was going to be facing a primary on the Democratic side, so she now sort of sidesteps that, although she's setting up for potentially a complicated situation for that race that I'm sure we'll talk about. She was on there being interviewed by Jake Tapper though, and Jake Tapper is, in my view, to media what she is to the Democratic Party, and so you can probably, what's that?
I said here, that's such a great point.
Thank you. You could probably expect the sorts of questions, the way he framed questions to her.
From Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan? Do you want to cut climate priorities? Is it elder care that you want to cut, or is it child care?
Senator, please, we are asking for your help. Senator, we need you.
What are the priorities that you I'm just trying to get an explanation for the American people.
Not exactly a profile in courage there by Kyrsten Sinema. She could have just said, you know what, I don't want to talk about this, but she wouldn't even give that woman the respect of any sort of response. And this has, of course, triggered a huge debate, political media circles, Cenk, about when is the appropriate time or not, if you're an ordinary citizen or you're a journalist, to actually stop a senator and say, look, you haven't outlined what your priorities are. You haven't said what you're going to cut. Give me some information. Give me an answer.